Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Day around Yaxman. We have a fantastic show for you. ANet forms the systems team, Guild Wars 2 anniversary livestream, and hark, the Herald Revenant changes are coming. And much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion and hosts Zero to Hero on this channel. And I guess we have to also add doing Vote to Kick on this channel as well. We have all been waiting all year to see what the next anniversary stuff is. But is it what we wanted? Say hello to Jim.
I liked it. It's actually armor.
Yeah, I know. It's the biggest shock of all.
I mean, a year is definitely, enough to fit one of those 6-month development cycles in.
Are you trying to say we should have got 2 sets? For...
Let's not push it. Let's not push it. Gotta give him some time to reload.
Everybody at Arena just was like, we can't win. But yeah, we'll talk all about that, don't worry. And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question: if the big anniversary gift is account-based, will we discover we are just one character with multiple personalities? Say hello to Age.
Oh no. This creates a problem for me. I have 11 personality. No, 15.
You're gonna be like that. What's the M Night, or what was the M Night Shyamalan? Is it M?
Split or
Split.
Something, yeah.
Which character is your beast?
I can't see M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Aww.
Anyway, we'll get into it later.
Okay, I was gonna say there's more to that. I'm very intrigued, but all right. She is an editor at Guild Mag, writes for MMORPG.com, and also her own site, MMORearly.com. 6 years in, I hope her roar hasn't gotten rusty. Say hello to Robin.
Hey.
Sounds like it got rusty. It's very humanizing.
Curveballs with the roar so that you're like always surprised.
So when are we gonna hit the point where the curveball is you actually do the roar? Hey? So you gotta loop it back around.
That's the surprise.
I was gonna say there was one time where I roared and you're like, okay.
We look forward to that day again. All right, let us jump right into it. So first up, ArenaNet at Gamescom, and also going to PAX West, of course. Be weird if they didn't show up to PAX West, I'd imagine. I mean, it's right like a stone throws away for them.
Isn't their office like...
It's probably within 40 minutes of anything.
No, it's not that close. Okay.
I don't know, to be honest.
Well, it's a lot closer to Gamescom or other packs of conventions.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's first talk about Gamescom. Guild Chat, they had a little travel diary with Ruby, of course, game director Mike, game designer Clayton Kisco, and design team lead Byron Miller, sorry.
I like how you really bailed out of saying Mike's last name. You're like,
yes, I did.
Mike.
You could just say Mike Z.
I know. Everybody knows who Mike is. Good old Mike. Game director Mike. Oh, yeah. I guess that would be confusing. Crap.
This is why we go Mike Z.
Yeah. So, all right. Game director Mike Z. Jeez.
There you go.
So it included a fan meetup and party at Haxen House, which I'm sure someone tell me
German.
how
It sounded German.
It did sound German. Oh, you probably need more in it.
I tried to like put some phlegm into it. Like now that we've just insulted everybody in Germany.
Where's Kate?
We apologize.
She left. She's like, I'm out of here. This is bull.
Normally she's raiding right now. She shows up in the
true,
second half of the show.
I wonder if she went to Gamescom.
Huh? Yeah, that would.
Like she would have mentioned it.
I mean, that's
Gamescom is so like you have the PAX conventions, which are a lot of people, but it's pretty well organized, and for a lot of people, it feels doable. Gamescom is on a totally different level completely. Like not only are there multiple buildings with the things and stuff, but it's a lot more people. Like it's insanity, absolute insanity.
Yeah.
Krista just told me that she apparently saw a couple people on her Twitter feed posting about the lines at Gamescom, and they're just kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I saw Jesse Cox say, like, he posted a picture of that and was like, this is one reason why I'm kind of glad I don't like try to go to the convention, as many conventions anymore, especially Gamescom. Nothing against, like, it's just like you said, there's a lot to see and a lot of people to go.
Yeah.
More.
Well, that's like, I would love to go to Gamescom, but I don't know that I ever would, because honestly, PAX is right on the edge of what I can handle in terms of amount of people. I can't imagine, the same reason why I'm probably never going to go to a Comic-Con, because it's so many more people with a totally, I don't want to say not as good organizational system, because once you get to a certain amount of people, there's only so much you can do, but it's like, I don't know that I would be able to mentally deal with that many people. Like,
Oh, you could handle Montreal Comic Con. It's pretty easy.
Montreal Comic Con? All right, I'll think about it.
Does this mean we get to crash at your house?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes! Everybody crash at Aegis, please.
Yeah.
Does that mean I have to leave my stoop, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
But it's thankfully I live near like the metro, so it'd be easy to get there and everything. So.
Your age has a stoop you can sit on.
I was just gonna say, I thought that's what he was gonna say. Like, don't worry, I have a stoop that you could, you know.
Yeah, there's a stoop you can sit on.
Is chat invited, Age?
Wow.
Is Chad invited?
Yeah, I think a chat window can fit inside Age's house. It fits right on his computer right now.
Yeah, I think I can manage it.
Probably can't stream from it because the Wi-Fi.
I would just have the chat on my phone.
There you go.
Save bandwidth.
That would be cool to do one day. All of us go to a convention. Maybe do like a live podcast.
Well, I mean,
It really does rely on me because you guys have all three. Yeah, I know. It's my fault.
we've been pretty close to having everybody a couple of times.
Yeah.
Somebody has messed it up.
Oh, yeah. No, I know it's totally my fault. I mean, I'm just saying, I agree. It would be a cool idea.
Moving on.
But granted, that's not probably going to be a Gamescom. If you can't even get me to PAX, you ain't getting me to Gamescom. That's... yeah, so how...
Randy Savage was there. Not to derail
he's dead, but...
Wow.
I mean...
like, hypothetically, damn it.
Well, hypothetically, realistically, he's dead.
But
Anyway.
in a hypothetical situation.
It'd be tempting.
All right, now you can continue.
If we could get him on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Oh, by the end, he would have probably did it. But anyway, derailing as per normal. So all in all, how was Gamescom? Did any thing major drop from it, or?
I thought first you were going to ask, did anyone go?
No, I saw the pictures. Lots of people went. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean out of us? Yeah.
No.
I mean, just in case, did any of you go? Did anybody in chat go? Maybe.
I saw the guild chat. I saw the dev diary. It looked like the trip there was a little rough, but like the experience was worth, and you definitely saw the devs from the European side, show up as well. And one of them had like that heartfelt speech, and you could tell it came from the heart. And Mike Z make a speech as well, and everyone had fun interacting with fans and things like that, talking about what they do and trying to explain it in layman terms as well, so that everyone understands. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I'm so bad about missing these things because I just can't watch them while I'm at work. I can't do streams there, so
Yeah.
I
does make it
watched
tricky.
it today.
Wait, they record those things?
Yeah, this one was actually pre-recorded because it just summed up the entire trip so far. So, yeah.
Well, next is they have their sights set on PAX West, so looks like they're going to be at booth 1102 on level 4. They're going to have the Griffin back out, and it looks like they're going to have another hashtag GW2IRL and hashtag GW2 giveaway for that during that. So if you are going to PAX West, definitely stop by, take a picture with the Griffin, maybe win a contest. Also some gameplay stations featuring the latest Fractal, so that'll be interesting. I'm always worried about that because I'm curious what their role is. I don't know if it's a standard role for conventions where it's like if you die, you end your turn, and go away.
I think Deepstone Fractal is. I think they'll do like either like the easier one or the medium one. So I did it on hard mode and it wasn't as bad. So it's on a fairly like I did on highest level Fractal without CM. So actually there is no CM. But it wasn't horrible. So I think if on easy mode, it would be fairly easy for people to get through and, actually play and experience the content. So I don't think it'll spend like, 10, 15 minutes probably.
Well, yeah, and I was wondering if they're going to give them like a 10 or 15 minute, like each person, or because I know this was, I think, for when SWOTOR was coming out, I think it was if you died in the instant, if your team wiped, because I think they were showing off one of the dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
It ended your turn, and there were actually people in line trying to troll people, like legitimately and I heard like people were not happy about that, but because I think at that time, when it was launching, the line for that was 3 hours, which boy was that probably looking back in hindsight was probably not a good use of your time at the conventions.
But it was for the lulz, damn.
Oh. But yeah, I was just curious I'm curious of how they're going to run their line in that situation. But yeah, I would say like, especially with a Fractal, if they give them like a 10 or 15 minute thing, at least they'll either get through most of it or get a good feel.
From me playing it, it's just really. Actually, there was one instance where everyone was dying except me, but it's the last fight that's a little challenging, but you can't die. You can't wipe on it because there's parts where the floor collapses, and if you fall through, you just come back on the.
Okay.
So, I honestly think it'll be it's a good little demo, just showing off, playing through content and story and. Checking out the characters, action combat, all that stuff. So.
I was gonna say that was gonna be my next question. Was how do you think Deepstone Fractal is a good thing to be the maybe introductory thing to people? But what were you gonna say, Jim?
Well, fractals are designed to be like 10, 15 minutes at the outset. I haven't had a chance to run Deepstone yet, but if they're gonna give somebody a different one, just don't give them Aquatic Ruins.
Aquatic Ruins, and they're all on Revenants.
Like, I could, if somebody had played Echo the Dolphin, they might get it, but like, I don't think that's a really good showcase of Guild Wars 2.
No, yeah.
So the newer fractals are probably the better.
Yeah. I think it's really good because it's one of the easier fractals. It has decent mechanics, and you get to explore, and you have side story that you can experience. So I think all in all, I think that was actually a pretty good decision.
Awesome.
Also, I'm very happy that they put game stations, but it's I guess it's kind of worth it because it's easier for them because PAX West.
Well, yeah, right there.
Less shipping of stuff.
Yeah, and plus I guess they can judge the amount of people that they'll have based on PAS.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be a closed system where it's just like those, maybe if there's 5 stations, those 5 people are in a group together, or is it like I got in a group, like it's like Age will be playing with these guys, like you're a noob, get off the thing. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the concession stand.
Oh, it's 5 people. This is what's interesting, actually. When you play with people like in real life, or like on comms, you kind of more understanding. You understand what people are going through. You have that experience. But when you're playing by yourself versus like not on comms, you're not communicating, you kind of get more agitated in that sense. So I think it'll be fine for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say normally I think what they would do is if they're gonna do like fractals or whatever, that the people there'll be like a 5 stations and there'll be 5 people to go up and they'll do it together and it'll become together, because there's a lot of technical things that go into attaching to the servers from inside to play with other people who aren't there. Like it can be done, but there's more like that can go wrong. It makes more potential for things to go wrong than having all the people in one place together. Plus, you know, all people at a convention playing together are more understanding of, you know, making mistakes and stuff, because, you know, you're not playing with your normal setups. Might not even be ever experienced the game before. You know, there's a lot of variables that go into that. So I think overall it would be a better experience for people if they did do it that way. And I don't really see why they wouldn't do that way unless they only wanted to have like 2 computers or something there, you know?
Yeah, I believe they said that like 5 people will be playing together in the same station.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
sense.
5 station setups they're gonna have.
That's cool. I'm super excited they're doing that, because when they were at PAX East in 2015, they had their big setup and all of that. There were so many people that I talked to that were in the Alliance who never had played Guild Wars 2, and it was a completely new experience for them, which was really cool. It's one of the cool things about Guild conventions in general, is getting to try a lot of different games without like having to buy the game. So
yeah. Well, hopefully it brings in some new people.
Yeah.
Also, if you are going to PAX West and you're like, well, I play Deepstone, I don't need to sit and, you know, stop by 4 Fans by Fans booth 7411, and they have some Guild Wars 2 merch for you. So you can pick up some like maybe Quaggan or Choya stuff or Arene.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still need the Ori magnetic plushie thing. That thing is adorable.
There you go. Also, they're going to have the Indie Mega Booth selling the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire vinyl from I Am 8-Bit. Nice.
It's good vinyl. I have it right over there.
Is it the same as the? I can't remember. Is it the same as the Heart of Thorns one, where it's got like the?
Wait, 1 sec. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I think the like Heart of Thorns one's the green one, and I think the Path of Fire was like purple.
Yeah, purplish magenta color.
Yeah.
Out of the sleeve, like a yes or no. But, you know,
We're showing it off for the people.
Digging through like a ton of stuff to get at whatever.
Live demonstration. Okay.
A simple yes or no would have sufficed.
No.
Well, we're gonna give them the big. There we go.
So
Full
this is the
screen
Heart of Thorns one for those who.
Yeah. So that's the Heart of Thorns one. That's not the one that they're. It might be there. I don't. That's not what they're mentioning.
I hope they sell it.
That would be nice if they had both.
The one that they are going to be selling is this one, Path of Fire vinyl, and it's pretty similar to the Heart of Thorns one. There's like little artwork inside, and I think there's a code for digital download as well. So
yeah, so if you're trying to keep it as a collector's item, you don't have to worry about scratching the record or something. You get it. At least I know that's how it worked for Heart of Thorns. Like, yeah, they had the digital code for it.
Also, the team at I Am 8-Bit, their support staff is fantastic, because I bought my Heart of Thorns LP on the last day of PAX, and I didn't even get a receipt. So I sent them, because I thought the code would be like inside the vinyl, but I sent them a message. They're like, do you have the receipt number? I'm like, I didn't get a receipt. And their support rep was just like, I believe you. Here's the. They just sent me a zip file with the in it, and I'm just like,
make sure you save the receipt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get one.
Well,
try to go ask for a receipt.
Or make sure there's a digital code, I guess.
But yeah, so definitely check that out. Also, they're doing a live oil painting on Saturday, September 1st with art director Aaron.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, Aaron. No, Aaron Coberly create an oil painting based on Seattle cosplay's beautiful artwork. The live painting session will take place from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time in the Hydra Theater. So, and you will be able to watch live on Guild Wars 2's Twitch channel. So if you can't make it, at least you'll get to check that out. Which,
yeah, all I was gonna say was I bet that will be really awesome to watch and see.
yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know how long an oil painting takes. Like, and this is an hour session. Do they like prep it, or?
I think it depends on how involved whatever he's making is. But the thing that really surprises me is usually oil paints take multiple hours to dry, like many hours to dry. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to work that aspect of it. I don't know.
It's gonna be like a cooking show. Like this is what we're doing. I made one earlier. This, you know.
Yeah.
I prepared this one
television. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I could see. I can absolutely see somebody doing like a full painting in an hour, just making it, getting the paint on it. Especially if you have a clear idea of what you're doing ahead of time and all of that, you just kind of go at it.
Okay.
But the drying of it is what I'm more concerned with. Is like
maybe that's how they'll get people. It's like they fully paint it. They're like, if you want to see it all completely done and dry, gotta check it out at our booth. Come to the booth.
Yeah.
So you can literally go to their booth to watch paint dry.
Yes.
Well, don't market it that way.
Oh, dear Lord. So my other question is, because I don't know about oil painting or painting in general, but can you layer over oil painting in it? Like, can you use like a blue oil and then like a red oil and it won't mess up?
I think you have to mix them.
Yeah, you can do some mixing. You can do some layering. Like one thing I've seen a lot of people do is they'll use a chisel tool or part of a brush and put multiple different colors on the brush and paint like that if they want like to create an effect or something. You can do that, and if you don't mix it, it will retain those colors in a really interesting way. But it's harder to like put down a color and then put another color over it. You don't really do that as much.
Okay.
The only thing I've really seen for oil paintings is once everything dries, they put a lacquer on top
Yeah.
to seal it.
Oh, okay.
Because the other thing is I think oils are also kind of fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like touch it, it can start breaking down the oils, which will ruin the color or cause it to flake.
Yeah. Also, like the oils from your skin and stuff can get in there, and it's different kinds of oils than the oils in the paint. There, you can do like some layering stuff, but if you want to do anything like that, you have to wait for each layer to completely dry before you do the next one. If you want to do that, so I wouldn't expect they would do something like that in an hour. That'd be weird. But it's exciting. I wish I was going just for that. I would love to see that in person.
Deo, you're terrible.
So, and also, I guess coming up after PAX, they have plans to go to Paris Games Week, October 26th through the 30th. They're going to be at Pavilion 1. So, I don't think they gave too much information about that, so I don't know really what they're going to. But if you are a Guild Wars 2 fan and are going to Paris Games Week, or close to it and are able to and you want to, you know, there you go. There's a reason to go.
In before they get like that, they add some kind of Globetrotter achievement in the game just to commemorate them going all over the goddamn place this year.
There'll be an achievement to follow in their footsteps, but interior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, 4 places? Oh no, 5. They did East, Comic-Con, Gamescom, PAX West, Paris Games Week.
Maybe they'll be at South.
A lot.
Maybe they'll be at PAX Deep South.
Yeah.
Australia.
Cool. Oh, no, I don't think they'll go there.
But any final thoughts on their little convention tour?
Good. It's good to see visibility on the game. It gets
Want
eyes
them
on
to
it.
keep that up. Keep doing that.
Yep.
Like, there's no
Like
real downside to it.
Yeah, like you said, that's a great opportunity for people that maybe never picked up the game or something, or just trying it out, or I mean,
and it's even great for people who've been longtime players. Like, it's nice to get to meet some of the people who work on the game and interact with them and find out like a little more about how things work, or just to share the stories that you have about spending time in the game. They love hearing all of that stuff. And it's really great for them too to hear about like the great things that people have done and the people they've met in the games and stuff like that, and how much it means to them. It's good. So.
That, like, honestly, I think that one of the highlights of PAX East this year was the party with ArenaNet. Like, I think we spent like an hour talking to Bobby Stein about all like crazy, like just a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, I know. I like walked away and you guys were talking to Bobby, and I walked and talked to some other people, and they came back and you guys were still talking to Bobby. And I was like, oh my God.
Did he look at you, Arlie, and go, help me?
Get me out of here.
No, but yeah, I from what little I've heard from like in guild chats and stuff like that, and kind of behind the scenes stuff, I truly believe they love hearing people's stories, like you guys are saying, and just go share your story. They're human beings too. This is their work. You're having fun in their work. It's like, it's a prideful moment for them. So definitely, share it with them if you can. But yeah, let us move on. We're talking about celebrating your time in Tyria. What better way than if you were there at the start? You're getting your 6th birthday gift and anniversary, and for your account.
This many.
Which is awkward. We always have to explain this. It's like, because if you're from Guild Wars 1, it was character based. Where in this, it's character based, but also account based. So yeah, you would have to have a character still existing from for 6 years. And then it gives you stuff for that character specifically, but also unlocks an account-wide achievement for your account. So if you don't have any characters for that, even though your account's been open for 6 years, you wouldn't get your 6-year thing. So that's where the little bit of a downside, I guess, comes into it. But yeah, we'll go through kind of the stuff that each character will get, and then what the account will get. So it looks like when you get your birthday mail for a character that has reached 6 years, it will contain 1 experience scroll, which will boost you to level 60. Yeah, more experience scrolls.
They stack now.
I still hate them.
Yeah, but I still have like what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
I still have 2 stacks of, I think, the 20s that will not stack together, and it drives me crazy.
Oh.
Still not go together. Anyway,
That's a
sorry.
bummer. No, it's 2 birthday boosters, which are the ones that are 24 hours long, which will give you like, what is it? Is it 100% more experience for like World v World, like PvP reward track?
It's like 100% bonus to like anything that XP bar is.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 100% or not. I thought it was, but okay. Yep. And 24 in-game hours, so it's not so it'll last you a good bit. So basically, you're getting 48 hours worth in that. I think if you use them at the same time, don't they stack? Like you could theoretically do. No, they don't.
They refresh.
Oh, I'm thinking of the 1 hour ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, don't do that. But 5 teleport to friends. I know some people are probably happy for that one. And those are character bound, so if you have a bunch of first, day oneers, you're gonna have a.
They're not bound.
No.
Or no. Character. I meant they're per character. Sorry.
Oh. Okay.
This portion. My bad.
Yes. Yeah, I have a billion of those at this point.
Oh well, you gotta start doing jumping puzzles again, apparently. And yeah, that's. Then, like Chad is saying, that is the one issue is even though your account, we said it before, even though your account's hitting 6 years, you have to have a character that hit the 6-year to trigger the account-wide thing that we're going to be talking about here shortly. So it's a little weird about that, but yeah. You get one Triumphant die kit, which thank you to ANet. She grabbed the different die stuff. You can see the Triumphant dies here. You get a choice from like Jormag die kit, Zytan, Awakened, Primordus, Alonian Landscape, Zephyrite Color Swatch Red, Swatch Blue, Swatch Yellow, and Swatch Green. And these are all the... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I really wish that they could implement a thing that when you go in to choose which of the packs that you want, you could hover over each pack and see how many of those colors that you already have unlocked before you choose the pack. Because I can never remember what's in each pack, and some of them I do have all the colors, so I'm like,
Yeah, sadly, you have to open up Wiki for the die kit, and then you have to search your dies and see if you have them all.
It's frustrating.
And like I already see chat saying, yeah, one of the more highly sought after dies was the Permafrost one, and you can get that from the Jormag die kit. So I know that was one of the more expensive ones, but this is the nice thing. If you think these names sound familiar and you've been watching the podcast for a while, yes, these are the same things that we were talking about from the gem store when they'd bring die kits to the gem store. But the difference is, and we've always said, don't get those ones in the gem store because it's kind of like a bit of a risk because there's like there's 6 dies, but that you actually want that are new, and then like a bunch of other ones that are standard that's going to be useless. In this situation, it only has the highly sought after unique ones out of those sets, and you get to pick what one you want. So you are going to get the one you want. So like everybody's saying, you're going to get Permafrost if you want Permafrost, not a chance at one of the 6. So awesome. But yeah, is there any other maybe chat even, are there any other dies that you guys would recommend people maybe seek out? Or
the desert one, I can't remember the name of the kit, the die kit. The Hydra die is a really nice red color. And that's the one I picked. The Alonian Landscape kit, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I picked the Hydra out of that because I didn't think about Permafrost. I'll probably grab that when I'm on my Guardian because his birthday is in like not that long from now.
Yeah.
And like Jim's saying, that's the important thing. This portion is still per character. So if you have multiple characters, don't delete them. Like
this is actually the easiest way to get gem store dice is to just have a crap ton of characters and wait for the birthdays to roll around.
Easiest way to get gem store dies is buy a lot of character slots. And wait.
And Eric the Nocturnal in chat brings up that dies worth, you are gaining the account value for the die, but the dies are account bound when you get them out of the birthday.
Yeah.
That is true. You cannot trade these, so don't think that it's like I'm just going to get all Permafrost and be rich. No, no, not going to happen. You're going to have one Permafrost die on your account and then be severely disappointed.
Yeah,
with
which
about
is
8
why
others.
it particularly annoys me that you can't see what you have out of each kit before you pick it. Because if you pick one where you have all of them, it's like, well, nothing I can do with this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. On the character page on Guild Wars 2 Efficiency.
What?
Has the birthday on the right-hand side.
Would that also be a good way to maybe find out what dies you need? Because I would imagine it has your...
Probably.
It has the
Countless.
dies in it, but you'd have to basically comb through it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they have anything in there sorted by die kits, so...
Guild Wars 2 Efficiency, do that. That would be very helpful, especially for this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like an in-game way, but we got other things that we hopefully will get, ideally before that.
You could search in game which dies that you haven't done.
Yeah, but like Arlie was saying, you would have to go to the wiki to find out what special ones were in there, then go back to your game, search in there. So, but yeah. Either way, you're going to be jumping between things. Hopefully, there'll eventually be some easier way. Or if you're like Hypnog and Chad, apparently he's got all the dies.
Just open less Black Lion chests. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
He's not gonna know. He's gonna open like 400 of them and just. Crazy, man.
Oh yeah, and Chad is saying you can Mystic Toilet the birthday dies for a chance at one you don't have or set or to sell. So
I wonder if the Mystic Forge respects dies the same way it respects armor and weapons. Like if you throw in all red hues, will you get a red hue back out?
Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like tier quality, like how they have like the blue, green, and like.
It might do that too. Like if you throw a bunch.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Chad is saying no.
Okay.
But it's still random. Okay.
That's disappointing.
Also, what you're going to get per character is one birthday card for 5,000 karma. That's 5,000 karma flat. No bonuses, no nothing added to it. You can't boost it. 5,000 karma flat.
Hey man, karma is awesome.
You can sneeze at an event in ore and get that much karma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Wait, is that an emote in game? Because I want to try that.
Slash sneeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add in like.
Slash a chew.
I don't know. Like I it's one of those things where like, how much karma did you have before Heart of Thorns dropped, Dale? Like 2.5 million?
I think I had more than that. I think I was close to like 4. And then I made, I think, 2 legendaries.
Yeah. And then you just kind of stopped, and you probably would have had more, but you'd stopped farming.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even farming. I was just playing, doing quests, and you know, early on they would give you karma for everything. Like, you did the achievements. Here's a jug of karma.
Look, when you make 5 legendaries a year, you'll take all the karma you can get.
Well, apparently I'll never have to worry about that because I ain't making 5 legendaries a year.
Yeah, but I'm actually behind, to be honest.
And all I can hear is was it Mad World? As I look into Age's eyes when he said make 5 legendaries a year.
Yeah, I'm aiming for 6, but I'm failing miserably.
Chat's saying they're at 19.8 million karma. Jeez.
That's nuts.
But also, character per character is 2 Black Lion statuettes, which, you know, I think that's pretty cool.
That's helpful.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have like 9 characters, that's 18. You could probably get something decent out of there. I mean, or take a nice chunk into something. Oh, you're being challenged in chat, Age.
Eric gets it. Eric gets it. I am on the 3rd one right now.
Sounds like you're behind. You gotta get on Eric's level. But yeah, let's talk about the stuff that is only going to, no matter how many characters you have that are hitting 6 years, it's just for the account, a one-time thing for this year. So I think you guys were saying earlier, it's based off of when you open your first 6-year box on a character, hence why it'll give you an achievement that gives you this thing, hence why you have to have at least one character that was around for 6 years, which
it's an achievement based, and achievements are account based.
Yeah. So yeah, you will get the devoted anniversary achievement box, and like we said, 1 per account. You will, I kind of want to say that first one for last, because that's kind of like the newest thing, because the other things are kind of
returning
redos of the previous years. You'll get the, as you can see here, on the right, the anniversary backpack. You get to pick one of those, and it's kind of themed on the different racial cities or the races. And on the left, you get 2 anniversary weapon packs, so you'll get to pick 2 of the luminous weapons that you see there. And you also get 1 guaranteed wardrobe unlock, so it'll unlock, of course, anything in your wardrobe that you do not currently have. But so Yeah, I don't even know which backpacks I still need to get.
I need the Grove and Holbrook.
I think same. Yeah.
I think they also have a collection to get like a tier 2.
They do?
Oh.
I'm Googling it. Right, going to the wiki. No, I'm Rosaro.
I'll say I don't remember but
I think I'm getting confused with the one
that Living Story
Inquest.
one.
The Inquest one from the Living Story for Chapter 2.
Oh, yeah.
That and the Black Citadel one looks similar, or at least in my head.
Mm-hmm. But also new, we are actually getting, and you get to pick one of these. So light, medium, or heavy. If you haven't guessed what it is yet, we're getting armor.
Actual Goram armor.
And as it cycles through, it goes light, medium, heavy, just so people know. But yeah, we're getting armor, not an outfit. Armor. You can mix and match it. Armor.
Amazing.
Did I mention it's armor?
Yeah.
Oh, and Chad is saying, and I heard that, heard about that. If you pick the heavy armor, I think you were saying it, Jim, was you get there's two versions of the helmet, one with the visor open and one with the visor closed. So technically, for more bang for your buck, you have to get the heavy armor.
Mac, don't you start. We've been asking for armor sets for the longest goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
And like the number of times, I think literally every single time there's been an outfit released on this show, I've looked at the camera and said, I would wear a piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gloves or the boots or the shoulder pieces. And it's just like, and yes, the medium is not a trench coat.
Exactly.
Yep. It's got a butt cape, but not a trench coat.
Yeah, but it works with that one. It's more like they seem more ornamental or like almost like nobler armor type things. Like
the meat, it almost looks like a military uniform.
Yeah.
So, to go real quick, I'm sorry, I was looking at this. No. Go back to why some people get their presents now and others haven't. Apparently, my first character, I made her August 24th, 2012 at 11:03 p.m.
Oh, that would explain it.
Yeah.
Hacks.
That would explain why I was able to get my achievement. I don't think it. I guess, yeah, if they coded it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's literally what it says. The character was created then. So
Hacks.
I mean,
we got an early.
Yeah.
For chat saying for outfits, I only want armors underneath showable to mix and match hats separately from the rest of the outfit. And yeah,
you have to swap out the helm for an outfit. Yeah.
I got the medium because I play mostly medium based characters. So I want the shoulders.
I kind of want the heavy, but I play mostly my elementalist at this point, so I kind of feel like I should go with the light, but I don't know.
I went with the light because the gloves look like actual gauntlets, and most of my light armor characters are melee, and I would like them to look like they can actually take some kind of hit.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. Huh.
Like that, and they're actually like they're gloves. They're not like they actually like they conform to the forearm. They don't have this giant flare on them, and they're not just like little fingerless gloves that end here, like half of the release armors are. So it's nice to see that there are actually just gloves for light armor classes. So
yeah, and honestly, I'm kind of torn between the medium and heavy. The light, I think I'm probably right where you're saying. First, I'd have to see like a good dye job, or like maybe play with it a little bit. But at most I might, like you said, take pieces from it and not just like a whole set.
Like when I looked at it, I'm looking at everything as like an individual piece because I know I'm not ever going to really skin the whole set of something. So. And then Mithrin also has a point, is that, you know, if you dig the feather motif, like all of these armors are good for it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have a human character, so you can't use the serif stuff.
Did I call Dolphy out for? No, it's very useful, her dye job, because it shows the different dye channels very well.
Yeah, she doesn't necessarily go for dye jobs that look good or whatever. It goes for jobs that will show the different channels really well, which sometimes causes clashing or whatever. But,
which is why hot pink is very frequently in a lot of the dye kits.
Yeah. So. I like Mithrin's solution though. Just make everything permafrost and everything looks white.
There you go. Problem solved.
Right. Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, so overall, is this a good anniversary? 6-year anniversary for characters?
I do wish that the lounge pack, I was talking about this earlier, the lounge pack of the 2-week passes for the different like lounges, I guess they're called. You know, the areas where you can teleport to that have all the things. And
oh, you want an option for 2 weeks?
No, I would like an option that if you already own permanent versions of the passes that you didn't get that stupid box, because I have no use for it. Like I already have the passes and the permanent versions, so it's just a box of pointless for me.
I didn't even get one this year.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I got one. I was like, why?
They're messing with you. They're like, yeah, give her another one.
It's going to annoy her so much.
It's not even in our system, but just do it. Just.
And then you have to type out the name to delete it.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's skins, by the way. Like all the.
Yeah. It's not actual armor pieces with stats and stuff. It's the skins.
Yeah.
And it was, I think they're rare quality.
Yeah, I think they're rare.
If you care about the rarity of skin levels, yeah, they're all rare item types. 41 Jenna's Mithrin.
Oh, yeah. I wish I could put all the Jennas in the Mystic Forge and get something cool.
I was just about to ask if you could do that, but clearly you can't.
I've tried a number of times. I tried putting her in with other things and like, no.
You have to put her in shoes. Oh my god, no.
Oh, god.
You put a Queen Jenna mini into the Mystic Forge with a pair of like light armor shoes and you get a mini that's her look from the Queen's Gauntlet.
That'd be funny.
I see chat saying, I don't see any reason for them to give you a choice. It's basically a demo version. They can make you addicted to convenience and buy perma versions. Well, I think it would be the same thing as, I mean, after they came out with one set of unlimited gathering tools, why do they have to make more? The theme. I mean, if you're like, oh, the sanctuary things, the Mistlock sanctuary thing sounds cool, and you're like, this is awesome, you might have a more likely of a chance to be like, when that comes in, I want to get that over Royal Terrace or whatever. But
well, the other thing is the different lounges all have a different actual location in the game. So like for some, it might be more convenient to use one over the other, and like, you know, there's that. That's kind of why I have the Queen's Gauntlet one and I have the new one. I don't remember how I got the new one. I guess I bought it, but whatever. But the new one's convenient because it's out by the new zones and everything for POF and all that. So there's that aspect as well. It matters.
oh, okay, yeah, that all right. That makes more sense then. Yeah, I thought I read it. Maybe I misread it. I do apologize, but
No, I get what Mac's saying is they want you to try a new one.
Oh, yeah.
So that you're tempted to buy it regardless of how many others you already have.
Yeah.
Like if you look at your lounge passes as just a convenience thing, then that's all that it ever matters to you, and they're never going to sell you more than one.
Yeah.
If you look at it as a theme thing for a character, then they might be able to sell you more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. For me, it's just the convenience. Like I keep the one in my shared inventory slot, so all of my characters have access to it.
I was gonna say, how many sets of unlimited gathering tools do you have, Arlie? They're zeroing in on you. They're like, she's the type of person that just wants themes and stuff. So send her like
gathering tools that makes sense because only one character at a time can use them. So you gotta equip them.
What? No, wait a minute. You could put passes on each of your characters. How does that logic?
But I don't need to. Like all my characters can use the pass right from the shared inventory slot. I don't have to actually put it on the character or anything. With
click
I think what she's saying is if she even used like 3 shared inventory slots, she would have to equip them and then unequip them every time. Whereas the pass, you just constantly can just click from the shared inventory slot.
What you do is you buy like whatever normal consumable, or like let's say you buy Orichalcum ones tools, put them on your character, put the shared ones in, put the unlimited ones in your shared inventory.
And when you double click them, it just flips it out.
Just flips it out.
But you still got to switch them.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I'm sorry.
So ArenaNet sell an auto shifter thing or something.
In fact, at this point, when I play on one of my characters that doesn't have unlimited tools, I get really confused. I'm like, wait, how can I be out? What is this?
Is this a bug?
No gathering tool equipped. What?
How is that possible?
No, Arlie, they break now. It's to make you buy more.
Yeah. No, yeah. I fully admit my gathering tool thing is absolutely ridiculous, but they kept coming out with interesting things, and then the Unbound magic, and now they're going to do the volatile one, I think, or they did, and like, it's crazy.
They hooked you with the flute ones because you're.
Oh yeah, the flutes. Those I was like, I got them. Yep, without a second thought.
Right now, ArenaNet's going. Send her another 2-week pass. We're gonna break her. We will buy another one.
Oh God.
But
gathering tools, those are awesome.
Yeah, a lot of people were going crazy for him. What was it, last week? So. But yeah, any final thoughts on the anniversary stuff?
It's awesome.
Oh, they are actually doing an anniversary live stream next week. I forgot to mention that. So
I feel like they're going to keep doing the scrolls all the way to 80.
I kind of want to know what happens after it. Like, I want to know what happens at year 9.
Right.
Oh, you get an 80 and a 10. Or a 40 and a 50.
They raised the level cap.
Please no.
Or they'll give you an 80 and then a consumable that gives you 10 spirit shards.
Odd.
I wish that I could just use them for spirit shards. I've got like
many.
I've got a line of them in my bank right now. I'm just glad they stack now.
I wish they would all stack together regardless of level that they are, but I understand why that wouldn't be a thing that would work, but it annoys me of having that line of them.
So it looks like ArenaNet has created the systems team. Oh my God, what is that? That sounds amazing.
That's so amazing that you didn't even do a transition.
Yeah, that's how great it was. So the systems team mashes together the skills and balance, player versus player, world versus world, and rewards team. Combining these teams will help us to create more cohesive content and make the most logical changes to Guild Wars 2 while reducing the chances that any particular part of the game will be negatively impacted when there are game-wide changes. The members of the old teams are now sitting in the same area with one another.
So like, it's good. because they're helping the different teams talk together more, which is good. But I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird to me. I don't like it. Also, like the balance team being with World versus World and sPvP, like I know balance is mostly PvP focused with a little bit of attention towards like the rating and all of that, but it feels like it's moving it even further that direction, which also makes me a little nervous.
That's like, honestly, having the balance team focus on PvP and rating is probably it's good to have them there, because those are the two situations where people are going to try and break things the most.
True. Yeah.
Like open world PvP, I mean, we have people running around with 14, 14, 14, etc. builds back when you could still have those builds in the old specialization system. As it stands, having these teams in a more collaborative environment, solid choice.
Yeah.
Really good, because as it stands, like this could get us faster updates. I hope it does.
Yeah.
Because are you going to go into the other side of things of having this whole large team glommed together in a development?
Let's have a mini vote to kick here. So,
which you can watch on Wednesdays live here, right on Twitch.tv/MAAD Realms. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm optimistic about it, but I can also see the downsides of it because, just from my experience alone, a lot of teams talking together has, you're going to find conflicts and they're going to be constantly trying to fix those rather than just getting stuff out. I would much rather the systems team be like the leads of those various sections talking together and saying like, we're working on this XYZ and it could break the XYZ, like ABC and things like that. I'd much rather have that because it's leads that understand what their teams are working on and what could potentially, like let's say Revenant, for example, which we'll get into a little bit, work on various changes and they can talk about those changes. They convey the changes to the lead of the skill balance team, and when the leads of each of those teams meet, they could talk about the high level stuff like, hey, Revenant's going to be doing this, and this. Does it break anything in your modes?
They're like, not in my game mode, it ain't.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the kind of truth of any collaborative thing. Like a team, no matter what you're working on, can only be so big when it comes to like getting the ideas and what you're wanting to do and getting things out. Like there's a certain point of where more hands makes it slower because there's just too many like hands in the cookie jar, essentially. I don't know how big each of these teams that they just squished together were, so that's a question. I don't know. I have the same concern, Age. Honestly, that was what made me worried about it. But we'll see how it goes. Especially like World versus World seems like it's been languishing so long. It's like, oh, let's put him with another team.
Well, I mean, to be fair, WW's been languishing primarily because they're trying to get the alliance system rolling out.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a big deal. So my only thought is that, I mean, if you say that each of those teams were 5 people, that's now a 20-person team minimum, because in my eyes, that would be like a 5-person team per group.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
Well, it's not the worst team-based structure I've ever worked on. But if it's more something that, like, say at the start of a arbitrary time period, they say persons 1 through 4 are working on this thing, 5 through 8 are on that other thing, the next 2 people are on a third project, and the rest of you are on this other thing. So if they're like dynamically allocating new teams within that group, it basically gives them, instead of a pool of 5 people to work on stuff, they now have a pool of 20 people to work on stuff, to allocate teams that way.
That makes sense.
So that could be, but again, I don't know how their office works. So
yeah, I would also imagine expertise also plays into it. So like, let's say you've been on the skill balance team for a long time, and it would be, let's say, for example, one project is like for skill balance. Let's say the PvP is making a new map, right? So you would have, like, I guess one person from skill balance come in with like 2 PvP devs and they work on it together. Is that the type of thing you were going for?
something like that.
Yeah. My
Sorry.
other thing that I was wondering was like, with especially considering what the balance team was initially, like I really wonder how big that team was, because like depending on how big that team is, each person is responsible for what, 2-3 different professions focusing on, like, I don't know. It seems non-optimal. Like, I don't know. I feel like a person could focus on 2 professions pretty well and do balancing, but once you get beyond that, because like they are so big, and especially as we keep adding elite specs to all of them, like balancing all of it is not a small thing. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a very interesting move. We'll
Yeah,
see how-
Mithra raises a good point. Is like a lot of people have been complaining about basically the communication within. So hopefully this does increase it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree that they needed to do something to help the inter-team communication more. Like that, like just sitting on the outside, it seemed like that was not going well. But I'm not sure that this is necessarily the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, it really comes down to how the team functions, really, or how they allocate tasks.
Yeah.
So it's good for them. I don't know.
And
We'll
heck,
see.
maybe they were already naturally going to each other like this, and they're like, let's just make this easier and official. Like, maybe they were trying to have that communication. They were, walking or, going to each of people's thing, and I was like, you know what, let's just all lump them together and just make it so they can just, turn their chair and be like, hey, what do you guys do? Oh, that's going to screw it up? Okay, yeah, we'll rethink that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be good.
Yeah. So, in the end, it's tough to say since we don't know the, inner workings of the office at ArenaNet. As much as we tried.
Wait, we tried it?
For legal reasons, no.
Sounds like Dale left the stoop.
Nope, that's my alibi and I'm sticking to it now.
Stoop. That's his alibi. He never leaves a stoop.
Yeah.
That's what he wants us to think.
I'm like Batman. Oh, the stoop. And I'll have a good movie. Anyway. But yeah, like we said, one of the teams in there is the balance team. Well, we're actually gonna get a balance update and PvP League Season 13 here soon. So PvP League Season 13 will begin on August 28th. Duo Q returns for all ranks, and the leaderboard titles will be retired.
All right, we need to stop here real quick.
Okay.
You want to go first?
No, after you.
All right. So I had, so the instant I read that, I'm like, Duo Q thing. It's like I had like, all right, people. I'm gonna go into this forum and I know exactly what people are gonna list, and I go through. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I thought. The leaderboard thing was actually a little surprising. I'll go back to the Duo Q thing first. But first, the leaderboard title thing was actually a bit confusing. But when you tied in with the return of Duo Q, it kind of makes sense, because what they're essentially doing is trying to. It feels like to a lot of people that they're trying to eliminate the match manipulation stuff, right? it seems like they like the duo queue system so that people can play with friends, but it led to a lot of problems. That's why we went to solo queue to try to mitigate that problem. But ultimately, they still didn't really fix it for like, people could still match manipulate in terms of like AFK and things like that. So with DQ coming back, that was kind of the risk. And I think they assume with leaderboard titles being retired, they won't do it anymore. But it kind of has little incentive to get top 250 unless people see your name on the board, I guess. That was the interesting bit for me. Yeah, that's all I got.
So, to be brutally honest, they can take those titles and they can dump them right into the dumpster. That has been my opinion on titles from day one.
Yeah.
The duo queue thing, that is to increase population, because regardless of rank, it's always better to play with a friend. So duo queue at any rank, it's just a thing. It makes people want to play more. Yeah. I do agree with Mithrin, since they're throwing out all of these, 2v2 maps, 2v2 tournament, good idea. Though that might happen when they get the on-demand tournament system up and running, because I know they're working on that. They are not going to get people in PvP in droves until your end of season rank means something.
Yeah.
The PIP rewards are great. You are perfectly incentivized to keep playing.
Yep.
There is literally no reason for me to care about my rank at the end of a season.
Yeah.
Which, unless I really truly care about the badge next to my name, which they have a system to remove that. So it's just like Ink said when he was still on the show. When they first introduced the PIP rewards, he went in on his Revenant, played terribly, got himself a set of Ascended Armor. Just from PIP rewards. You can lose your way to the crap ton of gold that are in your PIP chest. You just have to have the time to do it. So there is no incentive to win if your rank means nothing.
Yeah. That's the biggest part too with all of it, is like, that's why I'm always confused about like the match manipulation. Like, why?
The other problem with duo queue is that there's always one duo queue where one person is actually decent at the game and the other person's getting carried. And
me and Malthanis, I get carried all the time.
Hey, you killed that Deadeye that one time.
I did kill one Deadeye, but that was admittedly because he was dumb and got into melee with me.
But yeah, I'm talking about like, there was one match that I will never forget in my entire life, and it was this duo queue. It was a Necromancer and it was an Elementalist. The Necromancer was actually fairly good. The Elementalist died 5 seconds into a fight every single time and blamed me for it every single time. It's like, I cannot do my job like, I was doing weird things because that Elementalist died, because it was essentially a 4v5 and he's yelling at me and stuff. It's like, I am doing this because you are useless.
How does an Elementalist instantaneously die?
And here's the funny thing. I was legit 1v1ing a scrapper, and I was preventing him from capping, and we had a 1 versus 1 cap. We were like 7 points ahead. All we had to do was stall out mid and we win the game. Easy. So I was stalling out far, super long, and it's like, okay, I can't stay here anymore. I'm going to mid. The Elementalist, who was terrible, leaves mid, lets it get decapped, and we lose the game.
Oh my God.
I was so mad. That was the one time I actually flamed someone.
Mofongo, everybody who runs raid DPS builds dies in PvP.
And that's why I won't go back into PvP, because AG yelled at me for being on my Elementalist.
I'm sorry, but that Elementalist... That was just...
Huh?
I run Paladin Amulet. I do not play a raid DPS build in PvP on my alley. It's just I like playing Tempest and I don't like playing Weaver, and Tempest is not in it.
But
Scourge says no to Tempest.
The subject of the story matter is that I don't want people to be like, I want people to play within their range, right? Like, I understand if you want to help carry your friend or play with your friend, but make sure that they like know what they're doing. They can play like their profession that they're on at least. Like, that's all I ask for.
Well, like, I feel like if two people queue together and one is vastly higher than the other one, that it should maybe take the lower person's one instead. Like, I don't know.
There are multiple things you could do. You could do that. You could take the lower rating, you could take the higher rating, you could take the average of both. There are pros and cons to all of those. I guess it comes out to like just weighing out what the best option is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Also, just to note that for the titles, the people who have already earned titles beforehand, they get to keep them. They're just not doing titles season 13 onwards.
Yeah. I still think they need to get. I agree with Malthanis. They need to have something that is special for the ranks so that people actually like. This is the thing. Like every now and again, we'll run into somebody who yells at like everybody for being terrible while they're the ones usually being terrible. But anyway, complaining because they want to rank up, and I'm like, why do you really care? Like, what do you get out of it? Seriously, I don't understand that at all.
I think the main thing that people play for is competition. Like they want to like. I personally like for example, I play Overwatch because I like playing with friends, obviously, but when I go into comp, I want to actually play against good players. I want to learn, want to grow, want to adapt to different scenarios. And when you rank higher and higher, you face tougher opponents. You get better matches, and once you're at the rank you're supposed to be at, when you consistently get good matches, as in like whether you win or you lose, you feel good in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like that in Galore's right now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I understand that mentality. That's exactly like I prefer having close matches where it's a hard fight the whole way, and you're like going back and forth, and like it takes actual thought and effort to win. And even if you end up losing, but it was close, it feels good. But I feel like most of the people that I run around and see in PvP, they just want like it to swing really fast one way or the other, and they want like if they're going to lose, they just want it to be over really quick, so they lose really quick. They don't want to fight, or if they just want to win really quick, one of the two, which confuses me because I don't understand that mindset in PvP because like you were
if
saying,
you don't want to play
because they're not there for competition. They're there to maximize their time to get that rank, or, for whatever reason.
Well, you're not going to get the rank if you're not putting in effort.
Well, apparently you get it either way if you win or lose. So
yeah,
just not as fast. But if it ends quicker, they get to go to maybe another match that will win quicker. It's
it's kind of sucks because I saw Chaith came back a couple weeks ago, started streaming recently.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Yeah. But I noticed like a couple of people who are really good at the game. They're not playing as much or not playing at all these days, and it's sadly you're slowly bleeding out players, and there really needs to be some sort of incentive to make the game mode competitive, because when I'm hearing in platinum games people don't know how to cap properly in terms of the person thinks that if more people are on the cap, they caps faster. That's a problem.
But so, you can see the ticks.
Yeah, you can see how fast it goes.
Doesn't change.
No.
Feels faster. Shut up.
It takes twice as much time to cap as it does to decap.
I guess that goes back to tutorial stuff as well, but like,
well, I think even on Angel's Gods of PvP or whatever website, it actually says in the the FAQ that if you have more people on the point, it caps faster. So or at least it did at one point.
Wow.
I haven't been back to the website for a while, but that could be something that's ripped straight off of like Wiki or something.
It's I don't know. It's trying to make the game mode feel competitive. I think that's the main thing. Sorry. I'll take that off.
I'm amused by that.
If you're talking about what I said QED, then I could have just been misreading something or just completely thinking about something else.
Anyway, it's making the game mode competitive ultimately, because that's what PvP is there for. That's what people play PvP to grow and compete and try to be more skilled and learn more things as you try to get higher in the ranks.
Actually, yes, it does. Gods of PvP, Rotations Basics Guide. At the very end of the Basics of Guild Wars 2 PvP. Oh no, it says nodes are not captured, so I misread.
Okay.
Like my brain ripped not right out of the sentence. So even me, a person who is PvPing at least like 8 or 9 games a week, I'm still like,
that was like one of the first things I learned when I played PvP. I'm like,
God.
Well, the thing about PvP in general, so I may be wrong, but I feel like it was most popular around the 2015 timeframe when they were doing the advertised tournaments. They were big and they were really supporting it, because it not only got the people who generally like to do that kind of stuff into it, but people were into it, watching it and enjoying it. And that helped to bring in a good crop of people to replace people who quit. So like, that's the problem with PvP, is you need to always be having new people coming in to learn it, to take over their spots, so you maintain a healthy population. They haven't done that in years. There's been no real good hype or excitement around PvP itself, which I think is why the population, it feels stagnant at this point. It feels like it's not a healthy, thriving part of the game, at least to me. Those few years. So
that, and my memory could be off clearly if I'm trying to insert or remove words from a sentence on stuff right now. I remember when they introduced the pip system to PvP, and it felt like all of our queues were sub 1 minute. And now you're looking at 2 to 5 minute queues.
Yeah.
Anecdotal evidence, of course, but it's the rewards. Like there was a point in time where they introduced new rewards. They were solid rewards, but now they kind of pulled back on it, and then people just kind of started leaving the game mode.
Kind of the same thing like with World versus World. We saw that when they were doing the tournaments with that, and you could earn the tickets and get the weapons. Everybody was suddenly like, oh my God, let's World versus World, while that was going on.
And I think the problem with both of those is that it was rewards without necessarily needing a learning curve.
Yeah.
Because you could just PvP and play and get rewards. You can go into World
doesn't matter. You still get it.
Get rewards. Like it doesn't matter how you play. It's well, World versus World, you had to win, but it was just free rewards. So.
And Chad brings up a good point about the whole capping thing. If we're gonna like going back to that real quick, it's like most other games and most other MMOs, like they tend to do that, where it's like the more people you have on there, the faster it does cap. So
and that's why I completely understand people doing that. But
yeah, once you said like what you said, platinum level, you probably should, unless you're just coming back and you're rusty, or like you should be like, oh crap, that's not in this game. Like when I go to another game, oh yeah, I can't dodge out of the bad stuff. I have to walk.
And I feel like it was clearly a design choice on the part of ArenaNets, because not having that aspect opens up the ability to do a lot of different things. And it is only 5 versus 5, so you've only got so many people you can put around to the various spots anyways. So the fact that you just need a person there to cap, and it's not going to go any faster with more people, opens up some different strategic options that people can do. So it's an important thing to figure out at some point.
Indeed. Any other PvP thoughts?
Mm.
More rewards for ranks stuff, please.
Totally agree with that. Also, what's coming out August 28th is a balance update.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. And they already started to talk about stuff that they were going to actually change with the Herald, the elite specialization for the Revenant. Oh no! Don't ruin my Revenant.
Anything, it sounds like it's going to be better.
Well, we'll see. It starts with they talked about working with 3 distinct themes: assisting humanity, unifying a group of champions, channeling her gift of prophecy. So, of course, and for people who don't know, it's based off of Glint, Guild Wars 1, and what little we know of, in Guild Wars 2. But they go on to say these themes are going to be embodied in the specialization trait line through lending magical aid to allies with healing and boons, focusing on the facets of Glint and enhancing those powers of hers, turning inward and channeling potency to yourself. So that, sounds pretty good. It's they're looking at each of the existing facet skills has had its corresponding active skill labeled as a consume skill. This is to help differentiate the two, and it allows for a bit more variation in some traits. Facet of nature. Previously, this facet would grant nearby allies an increase to their outgoing boon duration. Soon, it will instead grant allies prowess based on the legend that you invoke. So they were using, as an example, Chalice will reduce the damage each of your allies receives, which is pretty cool. Shiro, allies around you will steal health from enemies they strike. And speaking of the true nature skill, the consume skill for the facet of nature, the skill sticks with their theme but does so in a different fashion from the facet. So Chalice would be grants each of your nearby allies several stacks of stability, and Shiro strip nearby enemies of their boons. So, what are you guys thinking of?
I'm more interested in one of the traits that they're throwing
The
out.
trait examples they showed off, yeah. They were based on the themes. The 3 that they talked about were elevated compassion, heal other allies when you grant them a boon, core value, improve the active effects of your true nature, the F2 skill ability, hardening persistence, gain damage reduction based on your active energy upkeep, and your shield ability now removes conditions.
Running, this is, again, I remember talking about, running a healer Revenant, Ventari Glint. Now you have more healing when you're playing as Glint, because elevated compassion, heal when you grant a boon. What are you doing as Glint?
Yeah.
What does your tablet do? It just pulses regen, so now it also pulses a heal. I'm looking forward to that, because I would actually like to play a more supportive Revenant type in WW, because that just seems more interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything here, and now they have a shield skill, like they have a shield trait. So I'm looking forward to this.
I just wonder how it's gonna mess with my build.
You'll find out.
Start all over, Dave. Scrap it all.
I know, I'm losing characters left and right here. It's I don't have my summoner build for my Ellie. It's like,
well, to be fair, a lot of the Heart of Thorns classes had a problem with focus. And then when they started releasing the Path of Fire, like they had it a little bit with, I know specifically the Reaper, where like line 1 does a thing, line 2 does another thing, line 3 does another thing. Like there was a theme going all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
Herald didn't really have that, and we've talked before about how it felt like the entirety of the Revenant class was designed with basically 6 trait lines as opposed to 5, and then the elite spec was tagged onto it.
Mm-hmm.
So them doing these usability passes on the older stuff is always a good thing to see.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to see what else is coming in the balance patch, because
Yeah, because they did tease it with like a image of a Revenant underwater using the glint stuff. Because I don't think.
It says right at the very end of the blog post. Also, you can now channel glint underwater.
Yay! We get another one underwater. We're almost there, people. We're almost there.
What's missing?
I have no idea at this point anymore. It just I don't think we have them all. I'm pretty sure.
Underwater? Or no?
What's that?
Shiro?
I think Shiro and Malik were the original 2.
Okay.
Then I think they introduced Jalis with that most recent update.
Mm-hmm.
Did they do Ventari? No? Okay.
Ventari would be really...
talking about
okay, yeah, chat saying Ventari and Renegade. I was gonna say I thought Ventari was not in there, and I guess they didn't do Renegade either. So
honestly,
we're almost there.
The easiest thing to do for that would be to have it summon on you, and like for Ventari, the tablet is on you. Maybe give it a bit of a range bump.
Yeah, underwater.
Have and maybe change the actual move skill to be like a heal pulse or something. And then that would be fixed for Ventari, and then for I can't remember. Pyre? Is that no. I can't remember the name of the Renegade legend, but I can't remember.
Something Scorch Razor?
Scorch Razor. Call a Scorch Razor.
There you go.
If you get the last name, you can usually remember the first one, because the war band's kind of a big deal.
Except in my situation, I was like, something Scorch Razor.
You'd have to have the spirits like swim with you so that there's a little bit of a delay, but that could work. But I don't know if they want to completely alter the function of the abilities like that, because that does completely alter the function of the kit. But
yeah, kind of like what Chad's saying. Do you think this will open up hopefully more for rating or something? And
I hope so.
I think the idea is to just have it more open in general, just to give more diverse pick options in terms of builds, because look, you're pretty much locked in utilities when you pick up 2 legends. So
that, and I think one of the biggest problems is with the Revenant was when the trait line basically did not work for you unless you were using the legend that was associated with the trait line.
Yeah.
That was a huge problem. So I think that's one of the bigger deals, and now they need to... I think Herald was kind of okay about that, but most people ran in Glint anyway for the most part.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Revenant applies boons, so that heal when you apply a boon, it's not a terrible thing to have.
No, it's not.
Regardless of what you use.
And that is an interesting observation chat's making, is seeing so much focus on underwater combat, finally getting the Revenant up to par with every other freaking profession. Will the next expansion be underwater, or at least have a lot of water in it?
Maybe.
I think we might see more water zones, or maybe even more use in maybe later living stories. Because it's already panning out, and this is the one thing we're wondering. People are like, oh, after this season, is it going to roll into another expansion, or are they going to do maybe 2 living stories? We don't know.
After this season, Guild Wars 3. Haha.
I don't think we're going to see underwater expansion just yet, but I do think the focus on underwater was primarily to give them a lot more flexibility with narrative, with the story chapters, because now we can actually have underwater zones and it doesn't feel like garbage.
Yep.
Especially if you're a Revenant.
Like a large portion of Tangled Depths was those underwater tunnels. And do you remember the enemies in those underwater tunnels? Bye, Arlie.
Why?
Maybe your camera just died. Wait, wait.
Oh dear Lord. Not like this.
It's a virus.
Technical difficult.
It's Age's
But-
fault.
Damn it, Age.
Oh,
I
fault.
think there will be at least a living world map underwater. Yeah, I mean, it's... honestly, in Mac, I don't mind the underwater... Like, I liked underwater portions, like looking at Draknar's Forge underwater. I wish there was like more to it.
Yeah. I think there will be portions of things that will be underwater as an option. I don't think we're going to see an entire like zone all underwater or an expansion all underwater focus.
Ooh, what if...
No.
What
that's
if
not
like
gonna-
they do a zone, like, I mean, we've had in the past where it's like we've had like the living story zones that would transition. Like we had the what is it, dry top with the sandstorms, or is that dry top?
a giant
Yeah.
flood? You mean?
Yeah,
zone?
I mean, people are really thinking that like bubbles might be next or something. What if there is like like maybe one of the living story zones? Yeah, or where if we fail or there like the fail state is it puts the whole zone underwater, or the certain event turns it all underwater or something. So basically the whole map that you were at previously, now you're like, you could kind of see it in a different way, depending.
I could
but-
see that for part of a map. I wouldn't see that for an entire map.
I could see like a tidal caverns section of the map where like you have to go through parts of the meta, and when it's flooded, you can explore different areas. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
Then we'd actually be able to see all of the really cool spear skins in the game. Yeah, that brings up a good point. But that's getting into some speculation. I don't know if we're going to go full bore into underwater. I mean, even when World of Warcraft did it with Vishara, most of the time you spent it walking on the surface of the ocean anyway.
Yeah, or on the ground. You walked on the ground underwater too.
Yeah, you were either like floating on top of the water, or you got a buff where you could breathe underwater and you ran. It was a really cool animation because it was like the big bounding strides.
Yeah, but that was such a cop out.
Exactly.
Like the first quest in, it's like, here, you don't have to swim anymore. It's like, what's the point of doing this?
That's exactly the point, is they didn't want to do it, but they wanted to go somewhere different. So that's why I think Guild Wars 2 isn't necessarily pulling the full cop out. So they're improving underwater combat, but I don't think we're going to see like a full map underwater or a full expansion underwater.
Yeah, I really don't see like a full expansion or what. That might be a bit much. But I don't know. I just like that idea of that mechanic of like, you know, maybe it's in like a valley type thing that will eventually fill with water, and because then it allows you to see like maybe the map and stuff, like the buildings, the structures, whatever, you know, submerged. And I don't know, looking at Draknar's Forge and like kind of reminiscing of like what it was in Guild Wars 1, it's like you're seeing it now. It's like, I don't know, it's just like one of those things where it's like, oh man, it's so, you look at it differently. But
Yeah.
Now chat's bringing up all the times in gaming where the company has copped out with, you're swimming and then here's an item so you don't have to swim.
Yep.
But oh, you don't want to play, you just want to see it? No, I go back to Draknar's Forge, you know, like if I'm in what's it, Mount Maelstrom, like if I swim by there, I always go in there for the what is it, Rich Platinum node, and I just go and I'm like, oh, then a crate hits me. But I just hate the crate in general.
I think that was the point.
Yeah,
Like they're a very well designed enemy. They're very hateable. But I think we're belaboring the point right now.
yeah. Well, any other thoughts on the Riv change?
We shall see.
Yes, indeed, soon.
TM.
Well, last up we have Gem Store, and you know it's anniversary in your account. Maybe treat your account right. Get something nice. So this week in the Gem Store, a lot of stuff on sale. So it looks like the Blackline chest key is 30% off. So 1 for 87, 5 for 315, 25 for 1470 gems. You can get the Blackline backpack and glider voucher. 1 for 630, 5 for 2450, and 10 for 3500 gems. And then you can get them kind of separately. So you can get the Blackline glider voucher for 360 gems, which is 5 for 1400 or 10 for 2000. You can also get a Blackline outfit ticket for 630 gems, 5 for 2450 and 10 for 3500 gems. Also a Blackline weapons voucher, 540 gems a piece, 5 for 2100, 10 for 3000 gems. And I also think today was another anniversary sale for character slots, if I'm not mistaken, for 35% off.
I believe somebody said up in chat when we were talking about the birthday presents that character slots are on sale right now as well.
Okay.
There you go.
So definitely get that as well if you need some character slots. But yeah, kind of the new things here I think are the backpack and glider vouchers and the outfit ticket. And it basically works kind of like the wardrobe things where it unlocks, whatever, if it's a backpack voucher, it's going to unlock a backpack. If it's a glider voucher, it's going to unlock a glider. Outfit Blackline weapon voucher, that'll be Blackline weapon skins. Will unlock a random one that you do not have unlocked currently. Do you guys think these are worth it, or?
I mean, if you just kind of like a lot of Blackline weapon skins, stuff like, if you like a lot of a single category of these and you don't mind spinning the wheel on this, go for it. It's an account unlock, so it's not like you can sell the skin once you buy it. But if you dig it, you dig it. Go for it. It'll make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're selectable, not RNG. Okay.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
And better.
Then that's even better. Yeah.
Huh.
Even the Blackline one, like the Blackline weapons, because that's probably really nice. Because what if you're like 1 or 2 away from that weapon set, like the set complete? That's pretty high. That's pretty handy. So
That's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
These are designed to pick what you want.
nice. Okay. Then I'm all for that, because that's not like the die kits.
It's not gambling. I'm sorry, taking a risk.
Okay, yeah, chat's saying they picked a weapon for themselves, so awesome. So yeah, definitely pick those up. It seems like they're a nice addition, especially since you get to definitively pick the one you want. But yeah, any thoughts on the gem store?
Good sales.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to complain about. So
yeah, pretty light on gem store this week, surprisingly.
well, that's because we didn't have outfits to talk about because they gave us armor instead.
I was gonna say, what's this word coming? Like, what's the game coming to? We didn't have a lot of gem store to talk about because we got an armor skin given to us.
3 sets of armor skins.
Well, you can only pick one right now.
Yeah, but they put 3 new armor sets in
True.
the game. One with a bonus helm.
Mm-hmm.
What is
the bonus
this?
helm?
What even
I can
is
just see
this?
someone carrying around their other helm like, I'm just keeping this just in case.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's definitely awesome. Last up in Community Corner, the John Fest podcast, and no, not like John as in me. It's a fan podcast all about me. No, now I feel horrible for just saying that. But no,
Wait, I can do this now.
I think we've talked about him in the past. I always like saying his name, like Georges. Like it just sounds like someone from like the deep south saying like gorgeous. Like, oh, you're so Georges. Like, that's how I say it. I don't know, but he started up a podcast, and I don't know. Did they say if it was a reoccurring, like same crew or?
I think he
'Cause I know-
said he might do it like once a month with different.
Okay,
hosts.
because that was going to be a couple questions I was going to raise, but it was nice. It was a discussion debate between Georges, Mighty Teapot, Envy, and Angeals, which I think we were talking about a little bit earlier with the PvP website. And they were kind of talking about state of the game, and that's kind of like where my question was going to be like, you know, if it was going to be a weekly podcast, how often can you, like, so, you know, how much has changed in the past week? Are we still on the same track record? Like, but yeah, if I could definitely see a month thing of like a check-in type thing. Because I think the first episode was like 3 hours, so I know we like to ramble on as well. So, you know, if you're fans of us, definitely go check that podcast out, because it seems like it's just as long as a lot of our shows.
Only if we get you talking about story and crackpot theories. And
I mean, we can.
No. High five, Arlie.
Someone clip that, please. Thank you.
Just the unanimous no. Well then, maybe I'll just have to see if I can go on the John Fest podcast where they'll allow it. No, but it seems like like I said, it was all really centered around state of the game type stuff, and what they think from seeing, you know, other MMOs, other games in general and stuff like that, and where they think they should maybe hit upon and stuff like that. It was definitely a really good watch. I didn't get through all of it, unfortunately. Like I said, it was 3 hours. I was trying to do some other things, but definitely gonna go back and finish watching it. And just in case for chat, we'll throw the link in chat for you. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, link will be in the description for anyone that want to watch it as well. If you want to make a real long podcast, just get me and Guild Wars Monk in a podcast talking about weapon and armor design. Maybe we'll have to do that as a special. Oh, trust me, I'm familiar with Aaron back in the day. We could.
Yeah.
We could pull some. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you could always count on him for the salty take of whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I always knew he loved every Black Lion, like, new weapon skin or something.
Mm-hmm.
He would pick it apart. So, yeah, definitely always love Aaron. Always welcome to help us pick apart. Even though we're like, oh, it has flames on. He's like, the hilt is off. And I'm like, but the flames, it's shiny.
It's shiny. Take it.
But yeah, so definitely check that out. And I think that is it for this week. Any thoughts on the community corner?
Always good to see more content for the game on YouTube.
Yep. And then we're even talking about that, kind of what we were talking about a little bit in earlier, like you were saying with the convention, getting more people, and they hit upon that. I know they're trying to see keeping veteran players, but also getting new butts in the seats. So I don't know if I could do that voice again. It was a once in a lifetime thing. Luckily, it's on the internet forever. But yeah, that is it for this week. So Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MouthAnisMMO, and you can also find me here on twitch.tv/MAADRealms, 2 A's in the MAAD, for Wednesdays for Vote to Kick and Zero to Hero PvP. We've been doing some unranked shenanigans, and unranked is an interesting time. I saw someone keyboard turning the other night.
Really?
So there's that. But I hope you all join me, because it gets fun. Not salty, not all that much. I try and keep the salt down. It's bad for my heart. But
Heyo. All right, awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, ANet. I didn't stream this week. Like the beginning of the week, I was really sick. I don't know what happened to me. I ate something bad, I guess. and my camera broke. I'm actually using my laptop for today. So I might stream tomorrow without a camera. We'll see what happens. There you go.
Awesome. And Robin, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitch and Twitter at Arlie82. Yay.
Awesome. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. And yesterday I actually played some Warframe. Actually had some time, played some Warframe. Got to try the new Revenant Warframe. I made a Twitch clip of that, and you can always check that in our Discord, and I think I tweeted it out, but that was fun. Oh boy, I can't wait to play some more of it before they do something horrible and like nerf it. But yeah, if you are just popping at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of an after show. And if you do want to watch this in full, we do highlight it on Twitch. Also, if you want to watch it on YouTube, if that's your preferred method of choice, it goes up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And also, link in this, link will be in the description, and if we'll try to throw the link in here in chat. But we also do have our website that we are just horrible at pushing as well, that we put the videos and stuff on. So there is a centralized area that you could also do it at. I believe it is maadrealms.com, MAAD, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just making sure before I just was like, hey, yeah, go to this site. And everybody's like, what's this site? It's not the... Anyway. And that's why we're bad at it, because I don't even remember the name of stuff. But learning experience for everybody. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, try to make it out to the live show. Like I said, we do pre-show, after show, talk about, little bits of everything that, we don't really save. So, you never get to see it if you don't show up live. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out, and unfortunately Twitch don't like hosting people. But thank you everybody for who hosted and all that stuff, and yeah, we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Later.